Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Pregame Show podcast presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Del Mendo, Ryan Herrera down at the bottom of your screen if you're watching on the old YouTube. Cubs and Orioles after a 9-3 doozy in the series opener yesterday.
Apparently it's not a barn burner. I learned on the bet show today what a barn burner is.
It is not a barn burner.
Yeah, it was not exciting. But for the last
doozy
30,
it was.
For the last 31 years, I thought a barn burner was like bad, like a bad game, like what we saw last night.
Oh yeah, no. It's a hot game. It's a close game.
I always thought, okay, barn burner is like, like a barn burning, like not good.
Like a dumpster fire.
Yeah. That's
that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
That sort of makes sense.
So
I'll tell you what, you will have a dumpster fire if the Cubs lose 2 to the Orioles. You'll have your barn burning, and it will be a dumpster fire if you can't beat the Orioles. Let's just forget last night's game, where they start off with 2 home runs in the first 3 pitches to the Orioles, and get right to it. We said this yesterday. We said it almost every pregame we've ever had.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about the lineup too much. But then the lineup comes out, and I want to talk about the lineup.
Look at Stucky joining the rest of us.
I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about exploring, Cody. I'm about exploring.
Yeah.
And again, Frazier is not in the lineup. And he's one of the few guys now that we haven't seen very much of this season where I want to say, come on, show me some at-bats. He had the appendectomy. He didn't play a ton early. I know he hasn't been great in the few opportunities he's had. And I know it's a righty-lefty thing, and Ortega's the hottest hitter the Cubs have, and he's the DH. But there's got to be other ways to get him in the lineup.
Yeah, I agree. We sat here and argued and yelled about, well, not even really argued, but just, vented about Jason Hayward in the lineup, and here he is again today in right field. And to me, I know Ortega's been playing well of late, but, like, if you're going to put Hayward in there right field consecutive days, you got to find a way to get Clint Frazier in there, and DH would have been fine. Like, I don't care how you get Clint Frazier in there, just get him in there, but it's just one of those things where I just don't understand. I've read some theories on Cubs Twitter today, like Seiya's supposed to come off the IL once the Cubs go to the New York, and maybe once they activate him, maybe then they'll finally DFA Hayward. I don't know. All I know is that Jason Hayward is just taking playing time away from Clint Frazier at the end of the day. That's what it is, and I just, you can't justify it. There's nothing you can say to justify the Cubs playing him every day. I get playing him once or twice a week just because.
So do I.
But, like, Jason Hayward has been playing more than Clint Frazier over the last 4 games, and I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. So
yep. Ryan Ortega, 16 for 42 his last 14 games, slashing 381, 460, 500. Okay, I'll give you Ortega for tonight's game, but then Frazier has to play over Hayward. If you're gonna go that way because of righty lefty, then he's got to play. Are you ever surprised by the lineups, or do you just look at them and say, well, that's what they're gonna do? I mean, I think I know your answer to this.
No, no. I'm sure you were thinking no, but no, I'm not. I mean, you look at the platoon splits, and Frazier has obviously, but he's never really had a chance this season to play or to hit that much against right-handed pitchers. But his numbers are better against lefties than righties, and Hayward's a left-handed hitter. I mean, that could be the justification. Okay, whatever it is, though, it's just it doesn't. I don't look at the lineup anymore. I mean, I never really did look at the lineup and be like, oh, curious why Jason Hayward's playing over Clint Frazier. Oh, why is Nico Horner getting the day off? Which that's a different. I don't look at the lineup and be like, this shouldn't be. It's again, we talked about it yesterday, where it's like it's not going to change. We've asked the questions. We've heard the answers. We know that as much as Cubs fans want to yell about the lineups, like David Ross is going to put the lineup together that he wants to put together and thinks gives his team the best chance to win. Does it work out that way often? It hasn't, but it's screaming from the rooftops just isn't gonna change it. So I don't look at lineups and say or just am frustrated with lineups or anything like that. They're gonna put the lineups together. We're gonna watch them play. Do you want to see Clint Frazier get more at bats? Sure, because you want to see what you got out of him. But for right now, it's not. People like living or dying by lineups. Just it's not healthy, Luke. It's not healthy.
I know it's not healthy, and I'm not a lineup guy. I'm just saying all preseason and early season, all we talked about was seeing these different guys and that Frazier was the highest ceiling of all those experimental guys this year, and we've seen the least of him of any of those players. It's why I don't have a problem with seeing Madrigal in the lineup, even though he's struggling, because I want to see if he can get out of it. I want to see what he can develop into. So It's not necessarily the Jason Hayward argument. It's just finding another way to get him in. And okay, if today the answer is Ortega, I understand that if it was just today. But he didn't play yesterday. He just got a pinch hit yesterday. So he's got to play one of those 2 days. I know you're trying to win, but to me, it's just frustrating. Niren says he's not going to another game if J.A. continues to play.
If you're trying to win, you're not playing Jason Hayward every day either. You're just not.
It's a mixed message.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
So, kind of what I was saying earlier about like some theories on Cubs Twitter. Matt Spiegel from The Score tweeted, I read this when I was on the green line on my way here. He tweeted, only logical explanation I can grasp for so many starts in a row from Jason Hayward is that these are the final days of his Cubs run, gets the chance to showcase a bit in his beloved right field before a DFA when Suzuki is activated, try to end the relationship with respect. And then in the thread it says, he added another tweet, says, the Cubs have always cared about taking care of their players on the way out as best they can, allowing involvement in trade talks during the rebuild, considering destination desires last deadline, letting pitchers make several starts before a DFA. This Hayward theory tracks. So, I mean, again, it's just a radio guy from The Score tweeting what he thinks, like the only logical reason he can come up with why they're playing Hayward so much. And if this is the case, then fine. Like, great. Like, if I have to watch Hayward play tonight in right field one more time, then fine. But when Suzuki comes back, it will bring up that question of, okay, how are you going to play Frazier now? Because, like, they're going to put Suzuki in right field, and they're going to play Happ in left, and they're going to play Morel in center most likely. Or they'll put Hayward in center and then make Morel probably play either third, short, or second. And either way, wherever they play him, we're going to be mad because it's like we want to see Nico at short. And just like you just said about Madrigal, is even though he's struggling, we need to see him play too. I guess at third, I'd be like, whatever. But with the way Wisdom's hitting, it's kind of like you don't want to take at bats away from him either. So it's at the point where, to me, it's like they need to do something. They need to do something. Even if they don't DFA him, just don't play him.
That's what I'm saying. And Matt Spiegel knows baseball. Like, Matt Spiegel's a baseball guy. I agree with what he's saying. Like, that makes some sense. Mm-hmm. But I just, in my heart, don't feel like it's coming. And again, I'm not a guy here waving the flag for DFA Hayward. I'm just saying find a way to play Frazier. And that's all I really care to see. Another thing I'd like to see today would be Stroman turn it around and give a better outing than last game.
Yeah, bounce back day, right?
It's got to be.
Got to be.
You're facing the Orioles, a team that you should know from the American League.
Yeah.
You should dominate because they're average at best. And I know Mancini's a pretty good player, but like
Cedric Mullins too.
Yeah, I mean,
they're top two players. Yeah.
I would like to see him bounce back today.
Yeah, and I expect him to. Every time he's had a bad start, he has bounced back with at least a decent start, a start that's given them length. Alec Mills saved the bullpen last night, but even with the off day tomorrow, David Ross needs Stroman to give him at least 5 or 6 innings tonight to just kind of keep that bullpen from being overused. So yeah, to me, if there's anything to pay attention to tonight, it's definitely Marcus Stroman and how he goes about this Orioles lineup.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, go ahead.
you guys kind of said it, but like Stroman, just track record, right? Like he's consistently a good pitcher, and yeah, he got blown up on Friday, his last time out. But I do expect a little bit of a bounce back, and we even talk about, he had a really rough April, had a really good May, like even coming off the COVID IL, he had a couple good starts in a row, including one of his three quality starts against the Sox, which is also like three of the few quality starts the Cubs have actually put together this year, right? So he has been after that April, the tough April, he has been looked like a better pitcher, and yeah, that Friday was rough to watch, and he knew it, and he knew that he has to be better. And so I expect a better outing than what we saw on Friday. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard to look better for a guy with his success, because obviously Friday was like a low point for him. But he has been a successful pitcher for his entire career, and I think it's fair to assume that he's not going to look that bad. One, but he's going to look good this today. I think we see a good outing from Stroman. It might not be the best outing you've seen out of him all year. No, I mean he's had a couple really really good outings, and I don't know, maybe he gets to that level, maybe he doesn't, but I do think you'll see a solid start from him today, just because of who he's been in the past.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cody, I was wondering, I know we kind of went through the whole thing with him after the last start, and you talked me into that he's been average. He's been an average pitcher. He's been up and down, good game, bad game. He's had some good stretches. I don't want to put the negative vibes out there, but if he doesn't pitch well tonight, will you start to change your tune maybe? If it was another bomb today, if it was back-to-back bombs, would you start to worry?
Yeah, especially since they're going up against the Orioles.
Me too.
I guess I would really. I mean, I still don't know if I would jump to the conclusion of that he's just bad.
Right.
But I would definitely get worried a little bit. I'm sure the tweets will be just on fire. But I think that if that were to happen, I don't know. I just feel like with starting pitchers, you gotta wait until the All-Star break. We've seen roller coaster seasons from all kinds of pitchers, especially with the Cubs over the years. And then I think Darvish is just such a great example. Like his Cubs tenure did not start out great at all. He had a really tough time not only staying healthy but finding that fastball command, and then he was able to find it in that 2020 season and second half of 2019. And it led to them actually getting a really good haul back from the Padres for him in a trade. But again, by the time his Cubs tenure was over, people were mad that the Cubs traded him. And I remember when he first got signed and he struggled out the gates, people were over him. People were ready to be done with him. So I just think that you got to give the guy some time. And again, free agents or guys who sign free agent contracts in that first year, more often than not, a lot of them do struggle out the gates, or at least there's some inconsistency. So and also, this Cubs team, it's not like they have the best defense in the world too, and that's not an excuse. But I talk about that Rays start.
Mm-hmm.
Like not only and again, he was not good, but also the weather was bad and the defense wasn't good in that game too. So again, we do need more length. He needs to be better. I admit that. I just don't think he is just bad like a lot of people say.
He needs to be the guy we've seen against the White Sox and Brewers.
Yes.
More often than the other games.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
Also, breaking news, the tarp is coming out in Baltimore right now.
Thumbs up.
I am seeing game delayed for Lightning here.
What?
Oh.
Stucky's like, we're stuck here all night now? Oh, no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maddie Lee tweeted the picture of like the sign. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Weather Service forecasts show a continued threat of lightning strikes in the ballpark area. In order to keep everyone safe, we are asking all of those who are currently sitting in open areas of the seating bowl to please relocate to covered areas of the ballpark. Long story short, delayed.
Boo. Boo.
Stucky's like, put him out there. Let's get this game over with.
Cone ice cream. Here we come.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's build momentum,
If
guys.
I say it's raining in Baltimore, do you know what band I'm talking about? Anybody on this podcast? It's raining in Baltimore.
Is that? I don't know.
Should I know
Pearl
this?
Jam?
No.
Ooh, Nirvana.
No.
I did look it up, and I cheated, but my initial guess was Counting Crows.
Yeah.
And it is Counting Crows. I don't know why that sounds familiar to me.
It's one of their popular songs. Like you've heard it.
Sounds like Joey
I had a
cheated.
feeling. What was that, Ryan?
I said it sounds like you cheated.
He said
he
I
did
just
cheat.
admitted that I cheated,
Yeah,
but
he
I
admitted.
also got closer than you if I had made my guess.
But
So,
we'll never know if it's really your guess. We'll never know.
Can you bet on rainouts on PointsBet? Can you bet on the game being called?
No, but if you could, I bet those odds would be like through the roof. Like I might just throw $1 on it every day and just see how much money I make from it.
Brandon Bong, our resident weatherman here on the chat, says radar shows a pretty nasty but quick storm pushing past Baltimore.
Oh, that's good. Good news.
That's
You know what I am placing on PointsBet tonight?
yeah. What are you wagering?
We're riding Chris Morel that 21 game on base streak.
Why not?
Yeah, baby. And I got Chris Morel 2+ total bases tonight at plus 115. You can make that bet over on PointsBet, my favorite app, and it's also the best way to support CHGO. And if you use the code CHGO when you sign up at PointsBet and make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. You'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. If you have any questions, email pointsbet@allchgo.com, and we'll help you. Remember that PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. They even have a new exclusive feature, live NBA same-game parlay. For the first time ever, build the perfect live same-game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. You can even boost your live same-game parlays. And now, online sign-up is available in Illinois. You can actually download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. Signing up with the fastest sportsbook is now easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life in seconds. Use code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. So what are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Cody makes his bets on PointsBet. However, today he was also busy filling out his All-Star ballot, which is very exciting news. You were going through some just thrilling names as you filled out your All-Star ballot. I remember going to Wrigley Field as a kid, and they had those little punch outs. You would punch out the little number.
I remember doing that as a kid as well.
Right? And you would, if you could get like a stack of 5 or 6, you could stack them together like a Scantron for school, and you get a sharp pencil, and you could poke out the Dave Kingman name like 5 times. You get 5 votes in there for gay. So just very Chicago-ish of us. We were voting like 5 or 6 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I would do it all game long. I would just punch Ivan DeJesus to make the All-Star team over and over and over, and then Ryan Sandberg. So who did you punch for your All-Star ballot? Because we will go through the list of just Cubs names that are on there for this season.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it's a sorry list
Well, you
for
know what's
potential
even
All-Stars. When
you
you
know-
talk about All-Star game.
You want to talk about even sorrier list? Well, I had fun with it because I genuinely don't take the All-Star game voting serious at all.
Which
like
the players probably hate, but
in a way, I think it's kind of silly because like there's always guys who get in who I don't think who deserve to get in, but again, fans want them, fine. So I made one strictly of former Cubs or were part of the Cubs minor league system.
okay.
All right. So, and it doesn't make any sense, but I chose a lot of the write-in options. So, like,
Very nice.
For instance, I got D. Strange Gordon over at first base in the National League, Austin Romine for the American League, and then Matt Duffy and Sergio Alcantara at second base.
Where's Matt Duffy playing this year?
He's played for the Angels.
Okay.
Yeah. DJ LeMahieu he might be the best.
Yeah, I mean,
one.
he's a legit all-star.
He's legit. But former Cubs prospect at third base, Tommy La Stella as well for the National League. Billy McKinney at shortstop, and Trace Thompson, Clay's brother, at shortstop, which
Very
doesn't make any
nice.
sense. Eloy Jimenez in the outfield. Let's not talk about it. Nick Castellanos in the outfield. And for the American League, it only lets you put one right in, and Eloy was the only former Cub out of the selection they give you. So I had to choose Mike Trout. I was like, if I got to choose someone, we're choosing Mike Trout. So I got Mike Trout and Eloy in the American League so far. Then Jock Peterson in the National League with Nick Castellanos. My write-ins, I did write-ins for the last two. Steven Souza and Albert Almora in my outfield. And then at catcher, we got Martin Maldonado, played 13 games with the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then Victor Caratini, Cubs legend, also Cubs killer now. And then Dan Vogelbach, who will lose a race to retired Mickey Montero as my designated hitter. And then, I mean, I know he's not great in the news right now, but Josh Donaldson, just because it was one of the first ones I saw.
Do you think, however, and those get tabulated obviously digitally, but can you imagine somebody picking up that ballot, looking at it and going, what was this guy smoking, and what is the reason? Like, before they figure out that there's just a Cubs connection to every player on there, just looking at the list of players going, what?
Yeah.
My goodness.
This is kind of like the cool thing about being able to vote online is like you can just do whatever you want. Like, again, I don't take the all-star voting system seriously. I'll probably make another one full of Cubs killers now if you want me to do that.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Cody's
did you go to the ballpark and do that?
What's up?
Did you go to the ballpark and do that to stack ballots together, or were they all digital by the time you started going to the ballpark?
They were probably already digital, but I also respect the game. I respect the game of all-star balloting. But I'm looking at it, and like Cody's gonna be the reason someone doesn't get. Like, it's gonna be by one vote. Someone doesn't get in because he voted for D. Strange Gordon as his starting first baseman. Like, that's.
Or he's gonna be the reason Albert Almora Jr. gets that final vote to get in as an all-star this season. One of the two.
Exactly. No, I respect the game, and I expect better of you, Cody. Because that
90.
I don't respect the game the way Ryan does, apparently, and that's fine, in my opinion.
It's okay to be.
You're a little Cubs biased. Yeah. Ferris is wondering if we have a new sponsor. The answer is, well, we might. I don't know about that.
No, we do not.
No.
We do not.
We do not.
The bots have taken over, and the naked HD XYZ cheap sex guys have taken over.
They have taken over the chat.
No.
Here.
Nope, I'm removing them from the chat, but they don't go away on our screen. So they're just still showing them for you. Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, this is a family show, so we apologize for those watching
We
at home.
apologize for that. We knew
Is
it was
it
a
a
hot
family
show.
show?
We didn't know it was this hot of a show.
It's because Stucky's here.
Must have been the lightning. The lightning probably did that, right?
Perhaps.
Maybe.
So here's the list of Cubs All-Stars you could vote for on the ballot. Willson Contreras, legit, should be the All-Star.
I agree.
Ian Happ, okay, he's had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
I could see that. Nick Madrigal, probably shouldn't be on the ballot at the moment. Nico Horner, okay, I could see that. Yeah, but I mean, shortstop's a tough position. Schwindel, no. Wisdom, at least he has the home runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Home run derby.
I think
maybe.
he should be in the
I
derby.
would like to see Wisdom in the home run derby.
I think Wisdom would be fun to watch in the derby.
Yeah, I think on national TV, watching Wisdom's knob on national TV at the home run derby would be a sight.
No one wants to talk about Patrick Wisdom's knob more than Ryan.
I'll be honest with you. We've all seen the knob, Ryan.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, like, what are the limitations for a baseball bat? Like, what can you go to the plate with? Because he's not the first player to have a knob like that. Sammy actually used to go up with a fairly large knob on the bottom of his bat. I don't know what the regulation. You can't go up there with a bat. Like, you can't go up there with a log that you could throw on a fireplace.
Yeah.
So at what point is the knob on the bat too big?
I don't know.
So
I guess it's this thing where he was slumping a little bit, and he switched to the puck knob, as it's called, which is used by Votto, has had some big success with it. And then as soon as he made the switch, he hit the 4 straight home runs in 4 straight games. So now he's just running with it.
Cody's birthday. It was Cody's birthday present. We thought it was Cody's post-game rant prior to that set it off. Now we find out it's the magic knob.
Yeah. Well, you take what you can get. I'm going to keep believing it was my rant.
Happy birthday, Cody. Here's a Patrick Wisdom's knob.
There you go.
Family show.
Sigs Inside 2020 said it looks like he's swinging a club. It does. What was the bat that had like the curve to it?
The axe bat.
The axe bat.
We were talking about that last time. So
Yeah,
can you read?
That can't be legal.
What's that commenter's name? Sigs Inside 2020. Got it. Wasn't sure how to say that one.
I'm just guessing. Sigs Inside 2020.
Axe bat. Yeah,
Axe
I would
bat.
be willing to guess the axe bat's bullshit, but I've never used it, so
I don't know.
I'm just sort of
Like a
surprised
fair is
that the
always on my
giant
side.
knob is legal.
Yeah, more people should use the giant knob if they're struggling. It sounds like
Nick Madrigal, give him the giant knob.
Okay. We need Dustin Pedroia to get a hold of Nick Madrigal and then give him the giant knob, and we'll see what happens. That's what we need.
All right. I feel like I derailed the show. We should finish talking the All-Star ballot.
You can vote for Seiya for an all-star. Now, he's been hurt, but I could see Seiya online getting a large international vote and actually being in the conversation.
Yeah, I could see it too. And like that's kind of the thing. Like, I'll be Ryan for a second. I don't think Seiya is an all-star. He had a really great April, had a really bad May, and now is hurt. I don't think he should be an all-star, but he might get all the votes because yes, the international vote.
Well, the problem is a lot of these guys have it built into their contract. At the same time, I understand what Ryan's saying. The flip side of that is the All-Star game is for fans.
Right.
It's for the fans. So if the
true.
fans want to see Seiya, the fans want to see Seiya.
Right. But again, that's why I don't take it seriously and
Right.
why I make ballots like the one I just read off.
You can vote, by the way, Jason Hayward, All-Star.
I'd rather vote for Albert Almora in the write-in.
Ortega? Doing an Ortega
Kinda
All-Star
crazy.
vote?
All these. I wonder if it was just timing, but like all these players you could vote for, but there's no spot to vote for Morel. Like it must have just been the timing wise. Like
you can write in Morel.
you can write in Morel, but he's not a clickable option. Like I'm just like
Yeah.
I look at it, I'm like, I must have just been the timing of when this they were making these or whatever. Because he doesn't have that many fewer plate appearances than like Nick Madrigal or Jason Hayward. Like
Yeah.
Right.
it's not because there's a large gap of plate appearances, I don't think. So it must have just been like when the ballot was created. I don't know. It was weird, but I'm like, you have all these guys and not Morel. Oh, well.
Do they even print those ballots to have them at the ballpark anymore? I wouldn't
haven't
think so.
seen
I would
them.
assume everything is online. So if that's the case, you should be able to change the ballot like tonight if you wanted to, right?
I
Like
think so, yeah. I don't understand how it works, but yeah, I mean the fact that Chris Morel isn't even on there at this point is kind of like, what are we doing? Because it's, I mean, if I'm the Cubs and the way that the season's going and how they've been posting these videos on Twitter trying to get people to buy tickets, I'd be marketing Chris Morel as often as possible. As often as possible.
I would too. Like if the Cubs could change it. All right, let's go to the most serious ballot of the night. Again, Cubs game delayed by lightning. Who you got? And Ryan, because he won last night, was not given the first selection. Cody jumped in, took the first pick, and took Morel.
I did. Well,
Jumped all over it.
Ryan, he said he was going to take Hap. If you go look in the Slack chat, which no one here can except for all of us in the office, but if you look in the Slack chat, Ryan said he was taking Hap, and then as soon as I saw him send that message, I was like, Morel, like,
Yeah, well, I gracefully decided to let one of you guys take Chris Morel.
Yeah.
So
you know,
I've been
when
winning
it
a
comes
lot.
to winning who you got, there's nothing about grace and like standards. It's all about winning. That's all that matters.
No.
And
Here's
whatever
you
it
know what?
takes.
This is what I got. Jordan Lyles hasn't been good against lefties this year. Ian Happ's going to hit lefty. He's also on an 8-game hitting streak. He's got in that time a 207 WRC plus. He's hitting like 390 something if my computer would ever load it. I mean, he's Ian Happ is having a little bit of a streak and kind of a quiet streak, right? But he's going for it, and I'm very confident in my who you got pick.
So, see, there was no sportsmanship involved. He
Yeah,
thought he
no
had a guy that was
sportsmanship.
going to get it instead Morel. I ended up going with Contreras because it's pretty much the same four guys we go with every time. Jared is going with the Stro show, trying to go. The last two times I went with pitcher, it didn't go well. I picked Stroman when he got blasted.
Yeah.
And then I took Keegan Thompson last night, and that didn't go
Stuckey
well.
can no longer
So
take
I couldn't do
pitchers.
it to Stroman again. I couldn't go that way. So I'm going Willson. And right now, the season totals, Cody 6, Ryan 6.
Yep.
I have 5,
Yes.
and Jared has 0.
Yes. And to
Joey
Jared's
take-
to Jared's credit, we just
Right, he
added
just started
him.
jumping in. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Ortega tonight, Ryan. Thanks for asking.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You're not taking Jay Hay?
You told us you were taking Jason Hayward.
Well, okay, fine. I retract it. I was going with Ortega because I think it fits into the same mold. If he plays well, you're genius. If he doesn't, no one's batting an eye. But you know what?
He's been playing well.
Yeah, he's like their hottest hitter, even hotter than Morel, I
Yeah.
think. Just barely.
Is it sustainable? All right, fine. I'll take Hayward again. Run it back.
There you go.
Run it
Run it
back.
back.
There it goes.
Somebody
Someone's
had to
gotta be
do
on
it.
Jason Hayward's side.
Well, Ron is taking Morel, and the rest of the comments are from porn bots. So we're gonna wrap it up and hope this game is played.
Hopefully.
And
For Stuckey's sake.
yeah, we will be here for a post-game show, even if it's at 2:00 in the morning. Well, at least Ryan and Cody will be here if that's the case. Thanks for dropping by to check out the CHGO Cubs pregame show presented by PointsBet. Enjoy the game. We'll see you here afterwards.